Hey, welcome to your practice. My name is Sophie and today we're doing a power flow. We are going to get right into it because we're going to make this pretty quick and effective. So we're going to start in toes pose. Tuck your toes underneath of you. You can always skip that by having your toes untucked and sitting on your heels. Spread your toes wide. Reach your arms up. Then cactus your arms. Without back bending, squeeze the shoulder blades further back towards each other on your back. So you can feel a lot of engagement on your upper back there right away. Then interlace your hands behind the back of your head and take a side bend to the right. So we're opening up the left side of the body. Come back to center. Inhale, exhale, side bend left. Bring your awareness to your breath as we get started. Long, slow, deep breaths, perhaps Ujjayi breath. Come back up to center. Reach your arms straight up and then release them down. Take 3 shoulder rolls. And then come onto your hands and knees. Cat cows. So drop the belly, open the chest. Round and curl. Do 3 of those, so just 2 more. Come into neutral. Tuck your toes, lift your knees an inch off of the ground. Wrap your core into the center. So the right and left sides of your torso. Imagine you're wrapping them in towards the center. This will engage your deep core muscles. Keep your knees an inch off the ground. And then take your hands further out in front of you, like a handprint forward. And then one more handprint. Hold, keep wrapping the core into the center. Then walk your hands back all the way to the back of the mat so you come into a forward fold. Ragdoll, grab onto those elbows, rock side to side. Shake out your head. And just notice how your body feels today. How do your legs feel, your hamstrings, your calves, your neck, your shoulders. Release your arms down. Walk your hands back out, come into plank. Nice, strong plank pose. Same idea of wrapping the outer core in towards the center. Press the hands into the ground so that you're creating more space in your armpits. Shift your weight forward a little bit more. And lower down to chaturanga and hold halfway to the ground. Hold and slowly rise back up. And then again, lower down, halfway, hold, rise back up. One more time, lower, down, halfway, hold. Lift your right leg up, set it down. Lift your left leg up, set it down. Upward facing dog or cobra. Downward facing dog. Bring your feet together and lift your right leg up. Bend your knee, open up your hip. Now bring your right knee to your right upper arm. Bring it down to your right elbow. Slide it back up. And again, slide it down and slide it up, down, up. Step your foot outside of your right hand for lizard. Keep your back knee lifted. Reach your right arm up, twist to the right. Keep the right big toe firm on the ground for now. Can you rotate a little bit more from your torso, from your spine? Good, then bring your right hand to the ground. Back of the mat, Skandasana. So you bend your left knee, pivot. So you're facing the side of the mat, the left side, right toes point up. Hands to your heart and make your spine upright. Warrior 2 facing the front of the mat. So you're shifting. Straighten your right leg, reach your arms up. Go back into warrior two and then side angle pose. You can either do forearm on thigh or fingertips to the ground. Left arm could be straight up or it can go all the way over the ear. You can decide what feels best for you. Rise back up to warrior two. Flip your right palm, reverse warrior. Cartwheel the hands to the ground, low lunge, and step back into one-legged plank. Bring your right knee to your left upper arm. Slide it down to the left wrist and back up, left armpit. Left wrist, left armpit. Left wrist, left armpit. Back to three-legged dog, chaturanga. Both feet down for upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Feet together. Lift your left leg up. Bend your knee, open up your hip. Bring your left knee to your left upper arm, hold. Slide it down. Lift it up. Slide. Lift. One more time. Slide. Lift. Lizard, step your foot outside of your left hand. Keep your back knee lifted, twist to the left. Inhale. Exhale, put your left hand down, back of the mat, Skandasana. And bring your hands to your heart as you come upright. Shoulders back. Warrior two. Straighten the left leg, reach the arms up, and then go back to warrior two, side angle. So your choice how you want to take this pose. Rise back up to warrior two. Flip your left palm, reverse warrior. Inhale. Exhale, hands down to the ground. Low lunge, step to one-legged plank. Hold. Left knee to right upper arm. Slide it down the right wrist. Back up. Down. And up. One more time. Down. Up, three-legged dog. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. And downward facing dog. Breath in. And breath out. One more time. Breath in. Breath out. Feet together. Lift the right leg up. Step your right foot between your hands. Put your back knee down. Reach the arms up. Squeeze the hips together. Right arm back, left arm forward. So you're twisting to your right. Option to bring your right hand towards your left calf. You don't have to touch. Mine's not touching at the moment. Keep pressing the hips forward. And then maybe over time, over a couple breaths, the hand gets there, but don't force it. Open the arms back out wide again. Now rise up into a high lunge twist. Hands together. Hook your elbow over your thigh. Now we'll come into high lunge, hands to heart, face forward, reach the arms up. Interlace the hands behind the head. Lower the back knee down to just maybe tap the ground or hover, and then straighten both legs and rise up. And again, we lower down and lift. Really focus on using your right glute muscles. Lower down and lift it up. Just two more of those. Squeeze the glutes of the right leg as you rise up. One more time. Down and all the way up. And then step your back foot up and in slightly for pyramid. Take your arms out wide and then interlace the hands behind your back. Open up your chest and fold over the right leg. Release your hands to the ground. Walk your hands out in front of you, standing split so you lift your left leg up. Shiva squat, left knee comes down towards right ankle. So you're bending both knees, getting low, and then lift it back up. For an extra challenge, don't use your hands, so let your hands float. Lower down, and then all the way back up. And one more time. Lower, and lift it up. Good. Put your hands back on the ground if they're not there already. Step all the way back into low lunge. Plant the left hand, lift the right arm up, and then come into a funky lizard by sliding your right foot back a little. You're on the outer edges of both feet. Get your hips really low as you reach your right hand towards the back of the mat so you get this lovely outer right hip stretch. Then lift your hips back up, and we're going to step into side plank. Right foot on top of left. Option to lift your right leg and then bring it into a tree pose. So right foot on the left thigh, inner left thigh. Keep your tree, come into tree plank. Lower down halfway for chaturanga with tree, and then come right back up to tree plank. Extend your right leg back, come into a regular plank. Downward facing dog. Set your forearms on the ground, dolphin. Press your hips up and back. Maybe you walk your feet in a little bit. Press the forearms into the ground. Option to lift your right leg up. We'll be here for a couple breaths. If you're lifting that right leg, lift as high as you can. Get the leg as straight as you can, toes pointed. You can even try an arm balance here if you'd like, or an inversion. Bring your right foot back down when you're ready. Come out into forearm plank. Your forearms are on the ground. And then lower your hips to the ground. Untuck your toes and lift your hips off the ground and hold. 10 seconds here. You might be shaking. That's okay. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower your hips. Sphinx pose. And then tuck your toes. Press back up to a forearm plank. As slow as you can, come into a high plank. Try not to move your lower back. Downward facing dog. Breath in and breath out. Lift your left leg up. Step your left foot between your hands. Put your back knee down. Reach your arms up. Twist to the left. Left arm back, right arm forward. Strong hips, strong lower core. Really reach your fingertips apart as you twist a little more. Option to bring your left fingertips back towards your right calf. And your right arm might go up. Give yourself time to arrive. Slow the breath. Slow the mind. Take the arms back out wide again. Rise up into high lunge twist. Hands to your heart. Hook your right elbow over your left knee to twist. And as you do that, you want to immediately firm up your right thigh muscles, like you're pressing the hamstrings to the ceiling. Press your right elbow into your outer left thigh. Smooth out your breath. Slowly come to high lunge. Interlace your hands behind your head. Do the opposite interlace if you can. Lower the back knee down. Rise up, straighten both legs. And again, lower down, tap, and rise up. 3 more of those. Squeeze your glutes as you rise up. That way we're using our core connection. One more time. And then come back into high lunge. Actually, keep your legs straight. Then we're going to step the right foot into pyramid. Okay, arms out wide. Now interlace your hands behind the back. Opposite way of interlacing, shoulders back, and fold over your left leg. Let your head drop. Let your left hip draw back. Can you reintegrate your arms overhead a little more? And then release your hands down to the ground. Standing splits. Lift that right leg up. Shiva squats. Right knee down towards left ankle. And back up. Maybe lift your hands up. We lower and lift. One more time. Lower and lift all the way up. Bring your hands back down. Step back to low lunge. Plant your right hand. Lift your left arm, twist, and then roll onto the outer edges of your feet. You might slide your left foot back a bit towards the middle of the mat. We're in funky lizard. Lower your hips and reach your left hand towards the back of the mat. And then lift the hips up again. Step into side plank Vashisthasana. Option to lift your left leg up and come into tree pose, Vrikshasana. Bring your left hand down and come into tree plank. Lower down halfway chaturanga, come right back up into tree plank. Left foot steps back into plank. Forearms for a forearm plank, and then walk your feet in for dolphin pose. Lift your left leg up if you'd like, or stay in dolphin. Point your left toes and really, with strength, lift up so you can feel your weight shifting into your forearms even more. Perhaps you have an arm balance here, or you stay right here. For 3, 2, 1. Bring your leg back down. If it's up, come into your forearm plank. Lower your hips down, untuck your toes. Lift your hips up. Keep your toes untucked so you're on the tops of your feet. Press your forearms down even more. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower your hips down. Sphinx pose. Now lower your chest all the way down. Take your arms out wide. Plant your left hand down. Roll over the right side body. Set your left toes behind you for a twist and a shoulder stretch. Come back onto the belly. Left arm comes out wide. Right hand plants down. Right knee bends. And we roll over the left side. Deep breaths. Come back onto the belly. Plant the hands down. Tuck your toes, lift your thighs, press up to plank. Downward facing dog. Set your knees on the ground. We're gonna come into hero's pose. So you take your knees a little bit wider, sit upright a little bit, move your calves out of the way and sit between your heels. Then slide your feet towards each other. So this might be enough. If it's too much on the knees, if there's any pain in the knees, then just back off of this pose and come out of it. Otherwise, you can stay. You can bring your hands back behind you. Then once you're there, I want you to tuck your tailbone so that your rib cage is coming closer to your front hip bones. And then if you want, you come onto your forearms. This is definitely not one of those poses that you want to push through. You don't want to push through any pain here. So stop where it's good for you. Some might be able to come onto the upper back, resting the shoulder blades on the ground, and maybe you grab your forearms or your elbows and reach them overhead. 3 deep breaths. And especially if you're all the way down, you want to make sure that you're still tucking the tailbone, engaging the abdominal muscles here. Bring your hands back down. If you're all the way down, you're going to bring your hands down. Come up onto the forearms. So we just do step by step. Come back up onto the hands. And then we come all the way forward onto the hands and knees. Tuck the toes under. And then walk the hands back. Lift your knees up and round into a little ball. Bring your knees back down to the ground. Now we'll come all the way into a seat. Let's take the legs wide as you can. Flex the feet. Then bring your right forearm down to the ground and your left arm up and over for a side bend. We rise up and switch sides. Rise back up. Walk your hands out in front of you. 2 deep breaths. Walk the hands back up. Cross the legs. If you have time on your own, do a little meditation, a little bit of breathing. If you're short on time, bring your hands together at your heart, and we'll bow together in gratitude for this practice. Thank you so much for joining me in this short little class. I had a ton of fun and I hope that you did too. Let me know in the comments what you thought, and if you're not subscribed to this channel, please hit that subscribe button so that we can continue practicing together, and I will see you next time.